Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I've got a fun little treat project for you using the Stay Warm stamp set. Inside is a hand sanitizer spray, antibacterial hand spray, I guess is what it's called, from Bath & Body Works. When I first saw this stamp set, I thought it should have been called Sweater Weather. And so when I said that in my head, I was like, ooh, Bath & Body Works has a scent called Sweater Weather. This will make a perfect stamp set for that project. So when I went in, I found these cute little sprays that are just super cute. So that's what we're going to do. This would make a great little treat. I think, you know, if you're doing like a Secret Santa or a series of gifts at work or at school, this would make a fun one for one of the days. All right, and look, I have a little peppermint stuck to my hand. It's been that kind of day. All right, stay warm. We're using the sweater. We're using Snowflake Kisses for the sending warm hugs right here. And the Delicate Pines, the little snowflake right there that has the matching die to go with it. Okay, let's make our box first. You're gonna need a piece of Secret C that is 5.5 by 7.5. And let's start with the long side, 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, and 6 1/4. Okay, turn it to the short side and score it at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5. Now don't worry, there is a free PDF on my blog that has these measurements. So if I went too fast for you to write them down, just hop over there and grab that. It has 2 other of our Stay Warm projects. I almost said Sweater Weather projects. All right, once you have all of your pieces burnished, let's go ahead and we're going to start here. We've got this 1/2 inch and then this larger section and larger section, okay? Then we've got this long side with a 1/2 inch. We're going to cut that one off like that. And then we're going to come over here and cut these 2 off like that. All right, now just snip these guys. There we go. And then up here, I always like to try to figure out where the back side is going to be. I want that to be the back side. So this is the one that I'm going to leave as my longer section. So I'm going to trim that off and I'm going to leave that. Now over here, I know for sure I'm going to cut all of these off. So I'm going to do that. And then I've got to decide which are the 2 side tabs, and that's this one and this one. So we got to cut this middle guy out. 1, 2, and then snip. All right, so that's what your piece looks like. One other thing you want to do is cut the corners off of this one right here. All right, so that's what your piece looks like. Let's put on our designer series paper. I've got some 1-inch strips of the Traditions of Christmas designer series paper. It has been out of stock for a really long time, but it's coming back middle of November, the week of the 17th. So if you've been waiting, set a reminder to check it. This is beautiful paper. I'm using the monochromatic sides, but it does have, the other side has some gold foil on it. There we go. All right, put your adhesive here on the 1/2 inch strip. Fold that over and fold that over, and they should line up perfectly. And there's our box. Now we're gonna take these and they're gonna fold in like this. One thing that we might wanna do is cut the corners off of these tabs. That'll help our little part, our little top part fold in. See how you've kind of created a little spot for it? All right, but we'll do that in a second. Let's fold up the bottom. Sides first, then the back, and you want to fold the front tab in last. We've designed it so that it has all the rounded edges and the seams are in the back. All right, put your spray in, close it up, and there's your box. All right, now grab your Real Red ribbon. I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of adhesive right there. And I take my ribbon. This has a shiny side and a dull side, and I want the shiny side out. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to wrap it around the top and make make my bow if I can. There we go. All right, twist it so that that red part comes out on your loop. There we go. And tighten it up. Perfect. Snip, snip. All right, there's your box. Now let's make our cute little tag. You're gonna need a piece of basic white cardstock for your stamping. I've got a white stylish shaped circle, white Traditions of Christmas label, and a piece of Misty Moonlight. Now I'm gonna show you how this stamp is designed to work. I'm gonna put a foam mat under there. It helps your photopolymer stamp better. I've got smudges on all of my white cardstock today. I don't know why that is happening. We're gonna start with Real Red, and I'm gonna stamp my sweater in Real Red. Okay, now you wanna have your chamois close so you can clean it. And then take your stamp and flip it over onto your block. All right, let's get that on there the right way. We're going to use the back side of the image as our fill-in, our color. You're going to need a piece of scratch paper as well. All right, now ink that up. Stamp on your scratch paper so that you're getting a lighter color, and then just stamp that right on your sweater. And there you go. Now, I didn't do a very good job. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. We'll go backwards this time. No, do I have a better piece of basic white? I don't. This one has a smudge on it. I think we're just gonna have to deal with it. All right, let's make sure I ink up my stamp really well. Let's try that again. Stamp. Much better. We're gonna clean it off. I'm doing it backwards this time. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I've got things everywhere. Real Red, and then stamp. And there you go. Perfect. Now, the back side's a little bit bigger, so you'll see you've got some color in here. It's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. We're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna cut this out. I'm gonna just stay right on the outside of that red line. There aren't dies for this, but it's really easy to fussy cut. You can do this with all the images inside of the stamp set. They're all designed to do this. So you kind of get 2 for 1 with each stamp. All right, there we go. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment. I am using Sending Warm Hugs and Secret Sea ink. There we go. And then we're going to use the snowflake. We're going to stamp the snowflake twice in Secret Sea on our Misty Moonlight. Oh, geez. Sometimes I just shock myself with how I can forget things so quickly. All right, I'm going to add some snowflakes in Secret Sea to our little circle here. There we go. And now let's layer it all up. This has a die that goes with it, and I have already die cut them ahead of time so that the video isn't too terribly long. Let's add our sweater first. Like that, kind of over to the left a little bit. And then we'll put on the sentiment. Sending Warm Hugs, and then these guys. And these snowflakes, I believe, are big enough for a regular dimensional. And we'll tuck one in like that. And we'll tuck one. Oh, that dimensional lost its sticky. We'll tuck one in. Let's have it on, yeah, like that. There we go. All right. On your box. There we go. And I thought a few just basic rhinestones would be a great addition. So let's add a couple, maybe 3. Like that. All right, there you go. A fun way to use the Stay Warm stamp set. Makes a great little holiday gift. All right, click the link here on YouTube. Go back to my blog to check out that free PDF and let me know if you have questions. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.